Hey everybody, this is Peter from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today I'm going to be showcasing a product that just recently released from one of the tabletop role-playing companies that I am always keeping an eye on. I've been watching their stuff since they were formed, and actually since before they were formed, and that is MCDM, and that is the company run by Matt Colville, who has made a name for himself on YouTube with his Running the Game series of videos, as well as then kickstarting Strongholds and Followers, which did fantastic on Kickstarter. They have since made other products. They've got Kingdoms of Warfare. They have another class that they created called the Ill Rigger. And this new release by them is probably one of the things that I've been the most excited about since they began making products, and that is the Beastheart and Monstrous Companions. It is a 48-page PDF with fantastic art and a ton of new information. It's got a class that it's releasing. It's got rules on introducing companions, animal companions to your characters, as well as this extra class that is focused on the companions. And I've been really excited for the release of this, and it just released recently. It's $15 on their website. It comes, like I said, with a whole new class. If you purchase the PDF, you get the color version, you get the grayscale or black and white version, as well as you get a form fillable PDF for the class itself. So as you're making your character, you can go ahead and just fill in that form and print that out so that you can play the game. So this is for 5th edition, and it is built all around that. So you'll see really quickly that it's for that game specifically. I don't want to scroll through this entire PDF. I want to hopefully showcase just a little bit of it, enough to get you excited about it, hopefully as excited about it as I am. But for me, $15, it was an easy decision to go ahead and purchase this. I was very excited about it. And I was so excited, I decided I want to make a video of me making my first Beastheart and their companion. So real quick, before we go into the part where I'm making the character, I'm going to showcase just a little bit of the PDF, again, hopefully to get you as excited about it as I am. So here we have our table of contents for the PDF. Again, it's 48 pages long, which is way more than I was expecting, but you know, with MCDM, they don't do anything halfway. They dive all the way in. So there's an introduction, there's companion creatures, which explains the idea of your player becoming a caregiver for these companions. It goes into ferocity, which is a mechanic that they have come up with for these creatures, because these creatures are not to be pets. They're not tamed. They are they're feral creatures. They're wild creatures that they want to go and adventure with your character. So yes, there's a bond there that you are sharing with your companion, but there's always the underlying knowledge that this is a wild creature that has chosen to be with you the same way that you've chosen to be with it as adventuring partners and buddies. But the ferocity is a mechanic that they build in so that as the creature goes through combat, they're building up this rage inside of them, these creatures, and you can use that ferocity to do special abilities that these creatures have. And the more ferocity they build, the cooler abilities they have that they can do. But if at any time in combat the creature's ferocity is 10 or higher and you fail on an animal handling check as their caregiver, then that creature will go into a rampage for 1 turn and they will attack the nearest person, whether that be a bad guy or an ally. So I think that's a lot of fun. There are ways to reduce the ferocity, and that's by utilizing it so that your companion does really awesome, cool abilities. And so there's a little bit of a pressure luck as you want them to build up ferocity to do the really cool abilities. But at the same time, if they build up too much ferocity and you fail on the animal handling check, there is the small chance that rather than hurting an enemy, they might turn against you or one of your other adventuring buddies. So there's a little bit of information about dying companions. There's information about the statistics for these companions as well. They talk a little bit about encounter balance and the companions, and then they have a list of, I think it's 15, 13 different companions. They've got the Basilisk, the Bloodhawk, the Boule, the Deinonychus, the Dragon Wormling, an Earth Elemental, Gelatinous Cube, Giant Spider, Giant Toad, Giant Weasel, Hellhound, Mimic, Owlbear, Sporling Warg. I think there's like 15 different companions that they've got available for you to choose between. And I'm sure, knowing MCDM, they also produce a magazine called Arcadia, which comes out once per month, and you can get that either through their store or by following them on Patreon. But they put out this regular once a month magazine, and I'm sure somebody who writes for them will eventually come out with even more companions, because this is going to be, I think, one of their most well-received products when it comes down to it, because there's a lot of people out there who play 5th edition, and there's a lot of people who've loved the idea, the fantasy of having an animal companion, follow them around and adventure with them and have that bond with that creature. So that is the first part of what is in this PDF. But the second part is the focus on the class itself, the Beastheart, which is the adventurer that you might want to play that has even more things that they can do with these companions. So the idea with companions is any player and class can have a companion possibly, but the Beastheart, they have a supernatural bond with their companion, and there are class features that build into the companion and themselves, and they build off of each other. And they get to use something called Primal Exploits. They have a natural language that allows them to communicate with one another. They can focus on some superior ferocity as well. So there's going to be information all in this about that for the Beastheart. And again, companions are not pets. They are wild animals that have chosen to follow along with you. So with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and dive into making my very first Beastheart character, and then choose which companion I'm going to have them traveling with. And my very first character that I have just been mulling over in my head as I've been reading through this PDF is actually going to be a hill dwarf whose companion is an earth elemental. I'm really excited about this, so let's go ahead and dive in. I'm going to be jumping back and forth between the PDF a little bit, and then also with the PDF, the form fillable PDF for the character, and then into D&D and D&D Beyond a little bit, just so I can make sure that I pull the right information, numbers and everything that I'm going to add in for my class. So I'm going to jump over to the form fillable PDF and look at this. It's fantastic. I think it's very well designed. I'm going to pull up a full page view so you can see that a little bit. It is 2 pages long. So you have 1 page here for the Beastheart. You have the follow-up page for your Beastheart companion. There are places on each one where you can, for your companion, where you can actually put in a portrait of your companion. And I'm going to jump over real quick back into the table of contents here so I can click on the Earth Elemental so you can see the art that they came up with for the Earth Elemental companion. I think it is awesome. I'm going to zoom in, see if I can zoom in on it a little bit so we can get a nice close up of this cool companion. Now I'm just jumping around to different pages. There we go. So this is the Earth Elemental companion art that they came up with, and I am loving it. You can see that the Earth Elemental has been armed up, I guess, for lack of a better word. If you look at the arms of the Earth Elemental, one side looks like it's got these giant, I don't know if those are like owlbear claws or elephant tusks or whatever, that have been strapped on to one hand of the Earth Elemental. The other hand has swords that have been strapped on as well to the earth elemental, so that as it attacks, it can do some slashing damage rather than just the bludgeoning that they normally do. Way up top on the head, it looks like they've added these strings and different things just to kind of maybe give it a little bit more of its own personal flavor and flair. But I love this piece of art. It made me really excited when I saw it. Again, one of the reasons I decided I wanted to make a Beastheart that used this creature as its companion. So back to the character sheet, we're going to go ahead, and I have decided that I really, really want to make a hill dwarf that is the Beastheart along with the earth elemental companion. And in my head, the story here is something along the lines of the hill dwarf was out in the wilderness. They're an outlander background is what I'm going with. So they're traveling across the land, trying to make a way for themselves, to figure out where they belong. And in this adventuring, as they're slowly beginning, they come upon, whether it be a pack of wolves or bandits, but something happens to this hill dwarf that causes them to be in dire need. And that need reaches out and it pulses out, and nearby, that pulse is feeded back from this earth elemental. The earth elemental feels this need and arrives just in time to help save this hill dwarf from whatever it was being attacked by. And that causes them to form this very primordial bond between each other. And I think that's a lot of fun. So that is what I'm going to go with. So we have an earth elemental companion and a hill dwarf Beastheart. So if we go back into the PDF and we jump to the table of contents, we can go to the Beastheart's page, and we can see that their first features are they have a companion, obviously, and then this natural language. And the natural language is the way that these two individuals, the character and the creature, can communicate with one another. They did input this. They input a quick build in the PDF, just like in all the other 5th edition. Whenever there's a class and you're creating a class, they give you kind of a quick build paragraph. And for this one, it says that you want to make dexterity your highest ability score, or strength if you want to use a melee weapon, followed by wisdom. And second, choose the outlander background. So we're going to go ahead and choose that outlander background for our character. And wisdom, the reason they want wisdom to be kind of high up there for you is eventually you do have the ability to have primal exploits at 2nd level between you and your companion. And those exploits are going to have save DC, and that's going to be 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your wisdom modifier. So there is definitely a desire to have a higher wisdom, so that as you have these exploits, you can utilize your wisdom and your proficiency and 8 to make your exploit DC save higher. So we're going to go ahead and jump back over, fill this out, and we'll see how we go. So the easy thing to do is just to start with our numbers over here on the left with our 6 primary abilities. We have strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. And I'm just going to use the standard array of numbers from 5th edition. And that's going to be 15, 14, 13, 12, and 8. So let's jump into our film for a little bit. We know that we've got a hill dwarf. And hill dwarfs, if we jump in here, dwarfs in general get an extra 2 to their constitution. So we know we're going to get a +2 there. And hill dwarfs also get a +1 to their wisdom. So as we're putting our numbers in, we know that we've got the ability for 2 to the constitution, 1 to the wisdom. We want to have a good dexterity as well. So I'm thinking that I'm going to put a 14 into the dexterity. Again, our standard array, that 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, and 8, I believe. Yep, 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, and 8. Double check D&D Beyond there real quick. So we're going to put 14 into our dexterity, which is going to give us that +2 to modifier. And I'm going to put that +2 up at the top because I use that more often, so I like it a little bit bigger. Constitution, we're going to get a +2 to that because we're choosing a dwarf ancestry. So for that, I can go a little lower and still get that +2 to get it kind of nice and average. So let's go ahead and put the 12 into that with a +2. So that's just going to make that also a 14. That's going to get us another +2 for our Constitution. And Wisdom, we want that to be high. So we used the 14, or for the Dexterity, we used the 14. For the Constitution, we used the 12. For the Wisdom, well, let's go ahead and make that as high as we can. We're going to get a +1. So let's go ahead and put the 15 in there, and we'll put a 16 in instead. And that's actually going to give us a real good start to our Wisdom with a +3. So we're going to start off with a really good exploit save DC, because that was going to be 8 plus our proficiency, and proficiency at level 1 is 2. So we're going to start with 8, 2, and 3. So that's going to get us already to an exploit save DC of 13 right out the gate, which I think is really good. Then charisma and strength. Let's see here, and intelligence. I'd like to think that our Outlander Hilldwarf is not probably going to be the most charismatic. So let's go ahead and throw in our dump stat of 8 with a -1. So who cares if everybody else loves us or gets along with us? It's just us and our companion. And that right there says it all. So we can just throw that -1 charisma in there. So we've used our 8, we've used our 15, we've used our 12 and 14. So we've got a 13 and a 10 left. Double check, yeah, 13 and 10. Let's see, we're gonna put that. I'm gonna go ahead and throw 13 into the intelligence as well. So that's going to give us a +1 for our intelligence. And we'll go 10 on strength. That gives us a +0 there. All right. And the Beastheart, it tells us that we have proficiency in light armor, medium armor, shields. We have a hit die of 1d8. So let's see where they put that on our character sheet. Inspiration, passive wisdom, armor class, initiative, speed, hit die. All right, so hit die, we have 1d8. So we'll put that in there. We know that our hit points are going to start from 8 and our Constitution modifier. So 8 and Constitution modifier is going to make 10 for our maximum hit points and current hit points. Let's see, so that's going to continue to go up, obviously, with the 1d8 or 5 plus your Constitution modifier as you go higher. Proficient in light armor and medium armor. Where do we have proficiencies at on here? Let's see, other proficiencies, personal traits, ideals, bonds, equipment, features and traits. Let's go ahead and put it in here. We'll put our proficiencies and other proficiencies in languages. And light armor, medium armor, and shields. Light and medium armor. Shields. All right. So we've got light, medium armor, and shields that we're proficient with. Saving throws, we are proficient with strength and wisdom saving throws, so we can go up here to saving throws, strength, wisdom. So our strength saving throw then, because we're proficient with it, is going to be a 2. And then dexterity is going to be a 2. Constitution is going to be a 2. Intelligence is going to be a 1. Wisdom is going to be a +5 on those. And charisma is -1. All right. Then acrobatics. Yeah, we can go ahead and figure out what are the things that we're going to have. It says here that we can choose from 3 skills for the Beastheart. We can choose from animal handling, athletics, intimidation, nature, perception, stealth, and survival. We know we're going to want animal handling for sure to be proficient, because that's going to matter when it comes to helping our creature not go into a rampage. And then let's jump into D&D Beyond real quick and just see what we get with being an Outlander. We always get a couple things from there as well. We're going to get athletics and survival from Outlander. So athletics and survival. All right, so we got athletics and survival from being an Outlander. So then we've got 3 other that we can choose from here. So we got animal handling, definitely. Go there. And let's see, athletics, we got that. Nature, I think nature makes sense. Let's go ahead and throw nature in there. And one more, perception, stealth. Not too worried about stealth. I'm going to be walking around with an earth elemental as my companion. I don't think we're going to be very stealthy. Intimidation makes a lot of sense, I think, to throw in there. Let's do that. Let's do intimidation, just because I know it doesn't make a whole lot of sense statistic or stats wise, because that's more going to be charisma based, but that's okay. I don't mind it being a little odd, but I'm a hill dwarf walking around with this giant earth elemental, or large earth elemental. I think we're going to be maybe a little intimidating. So yeah, so that's going to be all of our skills that we're proficient in. So acrobatics is dex based, so we get a +2 here. Wisdom is going to give us a +5 for the animal handling, which is great. Arcana intelligence +1. Strength we're proficient in with athletics, so we're going to get a +2 for that. Deception is charisma. Now, we're not going to be very deceptive, that's for sure. Intelligence, again, +1. Wisdom insight is going to be a +3. Intimidation, again, so we're proficient in it, so we get that +2 from a -1, so this is going to give us a +1 to intimidate. Investigation is intelligence +1. Medicine, wisdom, we're going to get that +3. Nature, intelligence, we're proficient in it, so we're going to get a +3 since it's the 1 plus the proficiency. Perception, wisdom +3. Performance -1. Persuasion, charisma -1. Religion, intelligence +1. Sleight of hand, dex is going to be a +2. Stealth is going to be a +2. And survival is going to be a +5. All right, so we've got our skills filled out now as well. Passive wisdom is, I believe, 10 plus your perception, and my perception is a +3, so my passive perception is just going to be a 13. Let's see. We're going to jump back over here, and let's see what we get with our equipment, starting equipment. Actually, you know what? We already did proficiencies with armor. We didn't write down weapons. So we get simple weapons, battle axes. I'm going to put that in there. Simple weapons, battle axes. What else do we get? Simple weapons, battle axes, great axes, longbows. Great axes. Longbows. Nets, scimitars, and short swords. Nets. Scimitars and short. Not shirt, short swords. Okay. So these are all of the things that we are proficient in. Okay. No tools, though. No specific tools that we are proficient in. Equipment, we're going to start with hide armor or leather armor, longbow, and 20 arrows. I believe the hide armor is just an AC of 12. Leather armor is 11 plus your dexterity. Double check that over here in D&D Beyond real quick. We'll pull up whatever source we have for the player's handbook. We'll take a look at armor. All right, so armor, we've got hide, which is hide is 12 plus your dex. Leather is 11 plus your dex with a max of 2. I don't have dex. I think I'm gonna jump back and take a look at that real quick. Oh, my dex is 2, so I have a +2 with my dex right now, and that is as high as I can get when I'm wearing hide armor. So let's go ahead and do that. That's going to give us a starting AC of 14, which is pretty decent for a first level character in 5th edition. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and we'll choose equipment, and we are wearing hide armor, and that is going to give our character an armor class of 14, 12 plus our 2 dexterity. All right, initiative is always your dexterity, so we get a +2 to that. Beastheart. Let's see. We're a hill dwarf. Hill dwarf's going to determine our speed of our character. The dwarf itself. Speed is 25. All right. Jump back over there, and we're going to say 25 feet. More equipment. So we've got our hide armor that we're wearing, and we're allowed a martial weapon and a shield, or 2 martial weapons. Well, so far we're dex based, not strength based. So we're gonna want some weapons that are gonna be able to be used with our dexterity. Let's go back into our equipment and let's go to weapons. We're looking for some finesse weapons or light weapons. Okay. So a martial weapon and a shield, or 2 martial weapons. So probably going to go 2 martial weapons, but a shield would up our AC a little bit, which could be fun. But with 2 weapons, I can always swing with the offhand as well as a bonus action. But let's see. Martial weapons. Battle axe is versatile, so we could use that. That's versatile, but not finesse. That's right, so that's going to be strength based, as the battle axe will be. We want finesse, though. So we might use the scimitar or the short sword. Kind of like the idea of the scimitar. I don't know that I've ever actually used one before. There's the whip. Not doing a whole lot of damage with the whip. Could just do the short sword. They're the same, though. Finesse light. Both of those are the same, the scimitar and the short sword. The rapier does a D8 of damage, but I don't really feel my hill dwarf running around with a rapier. I think I like something. Let's go ahead and go with the scimitar. Yeah, we'll go with the scimitar. So, jump back here. Got our Scimitar for our attack. It's going to be dexterity, and we're proficient with it. So our attack bonus is going to be 2 + 2, and that's going to be 4. Said that it was damage of 1d6. And that's going to be, again, plus the dexterity, so that's +2. And that should be slashing damage, I believe. So just make a quick note of slashing damage from the Scimitar. So we've got hide armor, Scimitar. And you know what? Let's go ahead and give our guy a shield. Right? We'll up that AC a little bit. That's all right. We'll up the AC. So that's going to get us a +2 to our AC to 16. So our hill dwarf has chosen to run around with a martial weapon, the Scimitar, and a shield. We're also going to get 2 hand axes or a simple weapon. Yeah, we'll take the 2 hand axes, absolutely. 2 hand axes. And a Dungeoneer's pack or an Explorer's pack. I always go with the Explorer's pack. I'm not going to type out everything that is in that, but I'll just make a note of it. Explorer's pack. All right, so we got the Explorer's pack. At first level, we get our companion. We gain a natural language that you can comprehend and verbally communicate with your companion, as well as with all beasts and monstrosities. So this natural language not only allows me to communicate with my companion, but with all beasts and monstrosities, and that's a type of creature. So it says here, the feature doesn't allow you to communicate complex thoughts or questions, but you can make simple statements, such as showing other creatures you mean them no harm, or ask simple questions, such as the location of the nearest body of water, or if a specific individual with a unique look passed through the area recently. The knowledge and awareness of such creatures is limited by their intellect, and the GM determines if a particular creature is in a communicative mood. While speaking with a beast or monstrosity using this feature, you can make a wisdom animal handling check in place of charisma checks to influence the creature. So if we're trying to get them to go along with us, we don't have to use charisma, which is great because I threw my dump stat in charisma. I can actually use wisdom with that great +5 animal handling check. Now the sweet spot is going to show up with 2nd level with our Beastheart, and that is the Primal Exploits, which I'm really looking forward to diving into at a later time. But right now we're just making this 1st level Beastheart. But the Primal Exploits, you gain 3 of them at 2nd level, and then you gain 2 more at 10th level, and then again at 17th level. And whenever you gain a level in the class, you can choose one of your Primal Exploits that you know, and you can replace it with another Primal Exploit for which you have the appropriate Beastheart level. And if you click over to the next page, you are going to see all these exploits that you have options. So one of those, will just real quickly, again, I told you that the companion, as they fight, gain ferocity, and there are these ways that you can spend their ferocity, and usually it's so that they do other things, but some of these, as the Beastheart, you actually get to use the ferocity of your companion for yourself as well. And so one of the very first ones here is Aid Us, Friend, and it says you can activate this exploit whenever you take the attack action. Before or after you attack, your companion can take the help action as a bonus action. Or bring them down when your companion hits a creature with their signature attack. You can use your reaction to command the companion to yank the target down, and the target must succeed on a strength saving throw or fall prone. And again, the exploit save DC is going to be 8 plus your proficiency plus your wisdom modifier. And there's a couple pages here of these exploits. You've got the exploits for 10th level and the exploits for 17th level as well. So lots of really cool things. Well, let's look at one of the 10th levels and just see what it says here. Crushing Charge. As an action, you move up to your speed in a straight line without provoking opportunity attacks. You can move through other creatures' spaces, but must end your move in an unoccupied space. Each creature in a space you move through, except for your companion, must make a strength saving throw. On a failure, a creature takes 4d6 bludgeoning damage and is knocked prone. On a success, the creature takes half as much damage and isn't knocked prone. But as you reach 17th level, the damage of this one increases by another d6 for a total of 5d6. And let's go ahead and take a look at one of the 17th level Primal Exploits. Let's go with the biggest one. Now, there's two of them here that say they cost 16 ferocity. Bloodsport. When you hit a large or smaller creature with a melee weapon attack, you can also push the target up to 30 feet away from you and knock them prone. If the target ends this move within 5 feet of your companion, the companion can make a signature attack against the target. On a hit, the attack deals its normal effects, and the target is pushed up to 30 feet away from your companion. If the target ends this move within 5 feet of you, you can make a melee weapon attack against them. No action required. That deals an extra 4d6 damage if it hits. So a lot of fun stuff that are going to be possible through these Primal Exploits. And it's nice they give you this nice little table here listing all of them as well, showing you the level that your Beastheart needs to be at for them to have access to those exploits, what kind of action it takes, whether it's a reaction or no action at all, or a bonus action or a regular action, and then also the cost and ferocity that each of those cost as well. But those again come at 2nd level, and we're just making a 1st level character today. So there's always a place down here on our character sheets for personality traits, ideals, bonds, and flaws. We'll look into those a little bit more later as I play this character, as I finally begin to play the character and see how it plays. There's the features and traits. So we want to go ahead real quick and I'm just going to copy and paste, I think hopefully from there, if it'll let me, the idea of natural language, just so I can remember as I'm playing what it is that this does. All right, and copy and paste a little bit here, just as a reminder. And yep, so we've got our companion, we've got our natural language. So again, our companion, though, we have to fill out our companion's page, and that is going to come up next because I think I have finished everything that I wanted to do for my Beastheart, the Hill Dwarf, who I will name at a later date. But our Earth Elemental is a large companion, and let's jump to its page so we can get a little bit of a closer look at one of these companions. Earth Elemental. It's a large elemental, unaligned. Its armor class is 15 plus my proficiency bonus. And my proficiency bonus right now is a +2. So this is one of the cool things that they give your companion. Your companion is going to level up with you. So as your character gains a higher proficiency bonus, then the armor class for this creature increases. So whenever it has that 15 plus PB, that's your proficiency bonus as a Beastheart. And so 15 plus my proficiency bonus, which is 2, the armor class then for this Earth Elemental is going to start out at a nice high beefy 17, which is pretty awesome. Let's see here. They are large type, obviously elemental. Gonna have to give them a name at some point. I'll have to look into naming an elemental. I've never had to do that before. We see that their speed is 30 feet, and they also have a burrow speed of 30 feet. So we've got 30 feet here, as well as their other burrow speed is 30 feet. Their hit points starts off at 7 plus 7 times the caregiver's level. So my caregiver is only level 1 right now. So that means it's going to be 7 plus 7, which is 14. We'll go ahead and put that in for their maximum hit points and their current hit points. But again, another really nice way of helping your companion to level up with your character. So once I turn level 2, it's going to be 7 plus 14, because 7 times 2, when I get to 3rd level, it's going to be 7 times 3 plus 7. And that's going to continue to increase. The elemental has a number of d8 hit dice equal to the caregiver's level. So right now, they just have 1d8 as well. There is a place here for successes and failures in death saves. There is talk in the PDF about what happens when your companion possibly falls or dies in combat. Let's see. Damage immunities. Fill that in. That's poison. So they're immune to poison, which is pretty cool. Condition immunities. Do we have any conditions? They can't be petrified or poisoned. Makes sense. Petrified. Poisoned. Special senses. Dark vision, 60 feet. Tremor sense, 30 feet. Passive perception is 10. So dark vision, 60 feet. So even though I might not have dark vision, I can't remember if hill dwarves do or not. They probably do. There's the chance that your companion has some special senses that you don't. I don't have tremor sense, I know that. 30 feet, so tremor sense, they can feel things coming through the earth or walking on the earth from 30 feet away. Passive perception is going to be 10. And strength, so I'm not very strong, but my companion is very strong. They're a nice 16 with a +3 and 8 for the dex. So I'm dexterous, they're not. We're complementing each other already, which I think is a lot of fun. Constitution is 15 with a +2. And intelligence is 5 with a -3. So not the smartest tool in the shed, but they are our friend, and we love them very much. And they do not have to be the smartest person in the world. I'm sure my character is not the smartest person in the world either. And their charisma is 8. So we are a not very charismatic duo. That is for sure. Saving throws. They get a Constitution saving throw of 2 plus my proficiency bonus. So again, that's going to give them a saving throw of +4 for their Constitution. That's pretty cool. Then it looks like all their other saving throws are just going to be regular. They do have a special skill, though. Their skill is athletics, so they get a +3 plus my proficiency bonus. So that's going to give them an athletics of +5. Athletics +5. So I like these different things that are going to allow them to increase. So their athletic skill is going to increase as my proficiency bonus goes up. Their saving throw for Constitution is going to go up as my proficiency bonus goes up. That's pretty cool. And again, their proficiency bonus equals the caregiver's proficiency bonus, which is the same as mine. Yeah, so that's me, because I'm the caregiver. They do have Earth Glide. The elemental can burrow through non-magical unworked earth and stone. While doing so, the elemental doesn't disturb the material they move through. While they use Earth Glide, the elemental can't be used as a mount. So I can't go riding my elemental under the ground, which is a little sad, but totally understandable. But while they're above ground, I can absolutely get my hill dwarf up onto the shoulder of this earth elemental and just walk around and ride around. And that is definitely going to be happening. So they have that fun ability of Earth Glide. So we'll put that in our traits over there. Remember that, Earth Glide. All right, and then so actions. Let's look at these actions real quick, because we haven't really seen what it is that our companion can do. Their signature attack is a slam. So they get a melee weapon attack +3 plus the proficiency bonus to hit. So that's going to be a +5 to hit. They have a reach of 5 feet. One target. They can only target one person. Okay. On a hit, they do 1d6 plus proficiency bonus bludgeoning damage. So it's a d6, again, plus 2 at the start, and that's going to increase as proficiency bonus increases as well. And again, that's just their signature action. Their signature attack is that slam attack. They also then have the abilities that they gain as their ferocity increases and their level increases. So first level, they have a ferocity attack that they can do with 2 ferocity, and the elemental makes a signature attack with a reach of 10 feet. So now all of a sudden they can reach out farther than the initial 5 feet from their slam attack. On a hit, the attack deals an extra proficiency bonus damage. So instead of just plus 2, it would be plus 4. So a d6 plus 4, and the elemental can pull the target 5 feet towards them. So they reach out, stretch out, hit the target, and then pull them closer, so that they can bring them closer into my weapon length if they're trying to stay further away, because I can only swing 5 feet as well. At third level, they can do Earth Shaker, which costs 5 ferocity. The elemental strikes the ground, and each creature within 10 feet of them must succeed on a DC 10 plus proficiency bonus dexterity saving throw or be knocked prone. The elemental's caregiver automatically succeeds on this save throw. So again, they're not going to make me fall to the ground or anything, but they can try to make others in our general area fall to the ground. And then the 5th level ferocity that they can use is 8 ferocity. It's called Transmute Ground. The earth elemental picks up a 10-foot square area of ground, or picks a 10-foot square area of ground they can see within 30 feet of them. Each creature standing in the area must succeed on a DC 10 plus proficiency bonus strength saving throw or partially sink into the ground and become restrained, so they can start to control the battlefield here. A creature can use their action to make a DC 10 plus proficiency bonus strength athletics check, freeing themselves or another creature within their reach on a success and ending the restrained condition for the freed creature. But here we go. We get a fun bonus action thrown in with our Earth Elemental companion, and that is Toss Me. While the Elemental is within 5 feet of their caregiver, they can hurl the caregiver 5 times the proficiency bonus in feet in any direction, including up. If the caregiver would normally take damage from a fall after being thrown, they can negate the damage with a successful DC 15 dexterity saving throw. So this right here is awesome. I love this bonus action because all of a sudden you're seeing the companion and the caregiver actually working in tandem with one another. If all of a sudden I want to, 5 times proficiency bonus, that's going to be 10 feet initially. But they can throw me 10 feet up in the air or across the battlefield. And if I would normally take damage, then I can actually land and roll with it, hopefully, if I get a good dexterity saving throw, which my dexterity saving throw is a +4, so 11 or higher out the gate, and hopefully I'll be making that save and landing successfully. But it's a fun action to do with each other. They're gonna throw me. I like that a lot. Little cannonball action happening there. So that's going to be a lot of the stuff for the Earth Elemental. I could go ahead and fill in my skills. I'm not going to worry about that all right now. But that bonus action and reaction, I am going to copy that bonus action and put it in there so I don't forget as I play my character that they can throw me around a little bit. And we can see what that does for us. I'm sure that's going to lead to some very fun, maybe some role-playing moments. And fun things to happen in combat as well. So we've got little places here for each of the different attacks. We've got the signature attack that we just read about. We've got slam. So we're going to put that over in there. The attack bonus for that again is +3. It's +3 plus the proficiency bonus to hit. So that's going to be 2 out the gate. So that's a +5 to hit. And the damage from that is a d6 plus our proficiency bonus, so a d6 plus 2, 1d6 plus 2. And let's see here. Action cost, yeah. So first level, third level, 5th level, we get stretch attack. go ahead and copy that over there so that we can remember what we need to do with that. I like that it already says there how much ferocity it costs, so I don't have to put that over in there. PDFs are not the best for copying and pasting, but you still can. All right. So we're almost there. We've almost completed our first Beastheart. And I'm really excited to play the game with this dwarf earth elemental combo. And again, don't forget, there are 15 different companions in here. And you can do so many different things with them. So yeah, so that looks like that's going to be everything for adding in our character sheets for right now. Anyways, we have our companion, place for notes. Again, I like that they added in a place for the portrait for the companion as well. And eventually, as I add my Primal Exploits at 2nd level, I can drop them into this box here also. And there's a lot to love, I think, about this new class, the Beastheart, and the idea about companions. I like that they took the time to make the companions not just something for the Beastheart, but a way for all character classes to have a companion. They just play a little bit differently. If you're just a regular class playing with a companion, you're not getting those Primal Exploits as you're fighting with them, but the character, the companion, can still do the things that the companion can do. Let's look at one more of the other companions. We'll look at one of the probably more odd ones, rather than a regular one. I think a lot of us probably know, like, wargs are kind of like wolf-like, owlbears are very bear-like, but you know what? Let's look at the giant weasel companion. So we get some fun art here for the giant weasel companion, and I think the thing that you really kind of gives it the cool aspect is their abilities that they have. So they have keen hearing and smell, but the giant weasel companion has treasure sense. The weasel can pinpoint by scent the location of precious metals and stones, such as coins and gems, within 10 feet of them. Rogues out there, rogues, you need a giant weasel companion. Actions, they have the bite signature attack. First level, they have overwhelming attack. The weasel makes a signature attack. On a hit, the attack deals an extra proficiency bonus damage, and the target can't take reactions until the start of the weasel's next turn. So you're ridding this enemy of its reaction for an entire round, which could be really, really helpful. Third level, clamp down. The weasel makes a signature attack. On a hit, the attack deals its normal effects and the target is grappled. While grappled, the target is restrained and the weasel can't bite another target. And then 5th level, bite frenzy. The weasel makes signature attacks against proficiency bonus creatures of their choice. So that's a number of creatures they can attack, bite frenzy. So, at 2nd level, all of a sudden they can make their signature attack against 2 creatures of their choice within 5 feet of the weasel. On a hit, the target of the attack is knocked prone. So there's no save DC on that at all. It is just, if they hit them, they are knocked prone. That is a really cool 5th level action that all of a sudden they get if you can get them up to that 8 ferocity. But don't forget, as their ferocity builds, if they ever start their turn with 10 ferocity and you fail your animal handling check, they may turn against you as well. So everybody, that is the brand new release from MCDM, the Beastheart and Monstrous Companions. Again, I barely skimmed the surface of this PDF as we were making our Beastheart today. We just took a quick look at the Earth Elemental and the Weasel Companion, Giant Weasel Companions, but that leaves 13 other companions that we named them, but we didn't even take a look at them. I didn't want to show off the art. I want you to go out there, get this in your own on your own computer, in your own hands, see what you think about it. But if you have ever had that fantasy of playing a character or a class that could work with an animal companion, you're each going to get your own turns to act. You act on the same initiative, but you get your action, they get their action. You get your attack, they get their attack. There's no giving up one of your actions for them to have their action. It just you tell them to do the thing, and they go and they do the thing. Which I think, again, it may cost like a bonus action to do that, but you get to tell them what it is that you want them to do, and I think that it is super fun. And I'm going to double check that real quick. I believe it is that you superior ferocity also at second level. Whenever your companion uses a ferocity action that requires a creature to make an ability check or saving throw, the companion can use your Primal Exploit save DC in place of the normal DC. So yeah, so there's a whole bunch of stuff here that we didn't go through that you're going to get as you level up, as well as a beast heart. But yeah, I believe it takes a bonus action to command your companion to go off and do their thing. So everybody, I hope you enjoyed watching me make this character, seeing a little bit about how the beast heart works and how their companions work. And again, even if you're not playing a beast heart, how companions can work for 5th edition. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, you can definitely go to MCDM's website, go to their shop, $15. You can pick up this almost 50-page PDF. Again, you get it in color, you get it in black and white, and you get the cool form fillable PDF. So thank you for watching, everybody. And until we talk again, keep on playing games.